I'd like to call the Fairfield County Council regular meeting to order. Winsboro, South Carolina, Monday, August 22nd, 2022 at 6 o'clock p.m. Can we get approval of the agenda?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed is nay. Let the record show 7-0 approval of the agenda. Invocation, Councilperson Green.
Let us bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to come together in your name. We ask that you lead, guide, and direct our path as we make decisions to benefit the citizens of Fairfield County. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. We're down to approval of minutes, the budget work session number 3 and the regular meeting. Can we get approval for both sets of minutes?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor of the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All those disapprove, nay. Let the record show 7-0. Public presentation, none. Number 6, first public comment section. Dr. Roberts.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of council. Fairfield County government welcomes public input during appropriate times at council meetings. Such input will be allowed in the time, place, and manner determined by the chair of the county council as the presiding officer. Persons wishing to speak must conduct themselves in the following manner. Sign up at the appropriate time to speak, should refrain from engaging in conduct or speech that seeks to disrupt or disturb the meeting, must respect the time limit for the public comments, and must refrain from personal attacks or personal statements about any individual or individuals. Such statements are disruptive because this part of our meeting is not conducive for such exchanges between individuals. As stated, speakers are expected to express themselves within the time, place, and manner previously described. Any violation will result in a warning from the chair of the county council or the presiding officer. Any failure to heed the warning of the chair or presiding officer will result in the violating speaker forfeiting their opportunity to finish speaking or to speak during the remainder of the meeting. Council welcomes the comments from members of the public and asks for the cooperation of everyone to allow for the orderly conduct of the people's business. Several people have signed up to speak, Mr. Chair. The first, Catherine Walker.
I would like to congratulate Council on their receiving the Ecotourism Planning for Rural Community. It is a $689 billion industry nationally, and it's green. And connecting communities, we're from Lake Monticello, Broad River, all the way over to Wateree. There is so much recreation and tourism available in history, and it will bring in money for the community, tax base, and also first responders, education, and any other necessary, and it's not very much outgo of funds to bring in a large amount of cash. So congratulations, and to the steering committee and the administration, because I know y'all were busy. Thank you.
John A. Jones.
Good evening, John Jones, District 4. I'd like to bring some things to your attention again. Well, actually just one thing. Twice before I've come in here and basically pleaded with you to make your agenda something that the common person could understand. You understand it, your lawyers understand it, the people that put you in those chairs do not understand it, all right? If they don't take the time to look things up in a dictionary, it leaves them in the dark. So you're doing them a disservice. And I bring it up to the point, Section 7, an ordinance to appropriate funds received by Fairfield County from the second tranche. I don't even know if I've said that right because that's a French word. Tranche of funding received pursuant to the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 and to appropriate unused funds received from the last tranche of funding pursuant to the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. Guys and ma'am, your constituents put you in those chairs to do a job while they're out sweating and getting greasy and dirty and taking what they can home to feed their families and school their kids. They put you in those chairs to do a job they can't do under the auspice and trust that you said you would do it. One of those things is they need to understand what you're doing. That way they can at least support you or come to you like I could with my esteemed colleague in District 4 and say, look, I don't think that's a good thing for this district. But you're putting it in words that they can't understand, and that puts them not only in a disadvantage, but it makes them somewhat angry and mistrustful of the people that they've got in those chairs. Help us out. That way we can help you out. Thank you.
Shirley Siebels.
Good evening. I shall be speaking to you today in the stead of Veronica Thomas, the 2021-22 Fairfield County Schools District Teacher of the Year. To the Fairfield County Council, it is an honor to give a statement as a teacher in support of the Teacher Village here in Fairfield County. The teacher shortage in Fairfield County and our nation is at a great and all-time high. It has now grown to over 8% in the last decade. Research shows that the main reasons teachers are leaving the profession are hyper-scrutiny, stress-inducing work environments, lack of respect for the profession, lack of respect in the classroom, and low pay. While we may not have all the answers to solve the problems related to the teacher shortage, I do believe that the Teacher Village is a solution for Fairfield County. I appreciate Dr. Green, Dr. Rex, and the Foundation for all they have done in the past several years to set the wheels in motion for this project. The Teacher Village is a wonderful way to attract and retain teachers for Fairfield County. The projected rent cost is a great benefit for teachers living in a society with ever-increasing cost of living expenses. Also, with the unpredictable spikes in the fuel economy, the location allows for the inhabitants to lessen their weekly amount spent on gas, along with the wear and tear on our vehicles. Many times, affordability is the driving factor when deciding where to live. Therefore, we normally don't get the opportunity to, quote, select our neighbors or community members. Supporting the Teacher Village will allow teachers and other professionals, as outlined in the project proposal, to live in a community with like-minded professionals. I don't know about you, but all the traffic on Killian Road in the afternoon has taught me that patience is a virtue. The location of the Teacher Village will help to lessen some of the travel stressors that Fairfield County teachers endure from day to day. Lastly, we have a large population of international teachers in our district. How awesome it would be to offer housing in a Teacher Village to someone who may be experiencing the U.S. and our way of life for the first time. I think that being able to alleviate that burden will encourage that teacher to stay with Fairfield County Schools years longer than he or she originally planned. I hope that you have heard something in this statement that will encourage you to support the Teacher Village project. Thank you for this time and space on today's agenda. From an educator's heart to your hearts. Veronica Thomas, the 2021-22 Fairfield County School District Teacher of the Year. God bless you all.
Sue Rex.
Good evening. My name is Sue Rex, and I serve as chair of the Fairfield County School District Education Foundation. On January 11, 2018, the Fairfield Education Foundation was awarded public charity status, 509A2, by the IRS. This designation legally established us as a sole-purpose charitable foundation. Since that time, our foundation has pursued our mission to support the needs of the Fairfield County schools. Our foundation has two major goals that we have identified as priorities. The first one has been to continue providing scholarship assistance to our graduating students. This year we gave 10. And the second one has been to address the state and national crisis of recruiting and retaining outstanding teachers to our rural district. Because of this need, our foundation is in the process of building the first residential teacher village in South Carolina, and one of the very first in the nation. As a result of the legal settlement with Dominion Energy, our foundation has been able to begin the construction for Phase 1, which will be the building of 8 homes on the 22 acres of property given to our foundation by the School District Board of Trustees for this initiative. This 22 acres, located between Fairfield High School and the District Administration Building, which, by the way, has no history of providing tax income for the city or county in decades, is an ideal location for the village. Tonight, our foundation is requesting the continuation of property tax exemption by the county and city for this property and village through the multi-park business agreement, which allows for special source revenue credits. If approved, this request will help put our foundation in a position to have the resources necessary to move towards Phase 2 of the building process, to properly maintain the village over a long time period, and provide any remaining net proceeds for increased scholarship support for our Fairfield students. It is our hope that over time, net proceeds from the Teacher Village will contribute to the establishment of a scholarship endowment to support Fairfield students in perpetuity. The foundation appreciates the County Council's consideration of this request to assist us in our mission to benefit the county, its school district, and its students. With me this evening, I have several members of our foundation, and also we have our attorney from Nexon Pruitt, Mr. Bernie Maybank, if you have any questions, who has also served during his career as the director of the South Carolina Department of Revenue. Thank you very much.
Jeff Schaefer.
Thank you. Jeff Schaefer, District 4. I too want to congratulate you, 5 of you. I won't need the full 3 minutes. I'd like to compliment the 5 of you, who we refer to affectionately as the Rubber Stamp Committee. No, seriously. You have a unique working ability or strategy. Mr. Bell makes a motion, instantaneously, Mr. Trapp so moves, and Mrs. Green will second it. There is never a comment or a question from any of the 4 voters, not even once, never once is there a question about what's been passed as a motion. And you have to admit, it's pretty darn remarkable. That happens 100% of the time. The 5 of you vote in one voice in the affirmation. I guess that proves the saying, you have to go along to get along. It's how politics works. So you should be congratulated on that achievement. When I was a kid, teachers asked the class, at what price would you sell your soul to the devil? I said $1 billion, maybe $1 trillion. The fact is, I knew if I had that kind of money, I could do some good for everyone, not only myself. But it appears that the fifth hand and soul that comes up was bought and paid for. And that's nothing to be proud of, and for a measly $50,000. And that being said, I don't want to bore anyone. I brought you all a little congratulatory gift. I think you can share it. Since you do everything in unison, this will come in handy. And I take great pleasure in being the bearer of gifts, and there's no need to thank me. So here's my little gift. I want to see a big smile. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Y'all have a great day.
No one else signed up to speak, Mr. Chair.
I'll leave it.
Thank you, Dr. Roberts. We're now down to public hearing, item 7. An ordinance to appropriate funds received by Fairfield County from the second tranche of funding received pursuant to the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, and to appropriate unused funds received from the last tranche of funding pursuant to the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. Do we have anyone? So we're now opening the public hearing at 6:16. Do we have anyone to speak?
No one signed up to speak, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So we're now closing the public hearing at 6:16. Item 8, ordinance resolution order. A, first reading by title only, ordinance number 798, an ordinance to appropriate funds received by Fairfield County from the state of South Carolina pursuant to the Rural County Stabilization Fund established by Proviso 113.9 of the State General Appropriation Act, H 5150. Can we get a motion to approve?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Okay, since it's by title only, no discussion. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Let the record show 7-0. Item B, second reading ordinance number 797, an ordinance authorizing, 1, the execution and delivery of a special source revenue credit agreement by and between Fairfield County, South Carolina, the county, and Fairfield County School District Education Foundation, the company, to provide for special source revenue credits in respect to certain property located in the county. Tax map number 144-02-02-056-000. The benefit of a multi-county industrial or business park designation to be made available to the company and such property, and 3 other matters related thereto.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any discussion? Mr. Whitaker, you want to have any comments before we go for the audience?
I want to read a brief clarifying statement just to add some context to what we're talking about here. This is a property tax incentive granted that we're asking to be granted to the foundation for the Teacher Village Project. The Teacher Village Project is beneficial to the county. The Teacher Village Project, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The Teacher Village Project supports the economic development in addition to the tax base of the county. The project will house teachers, faculty, and administrative staff in the school district. The Fairfield County Education Foundation that is building the Teacher Village is seeking an allowable tax incentive that will allow them to pay less property taxes for this very important project. South Carolina law authorizes counties to enter into these property tax incentive agreements with businesses which can reduce their property taxes. And of course, we're talking about the Special Source Revenue Credit Incentive, for the SSRC. Through enactment of this agreement and ordinance, Fairfield County approves an SSRC, which will reduce the applicable property taxes paid by the Fairfield County Education Foundation. And the Park Act is the vehicle that creates a joint county business park that will allow them to take advantage of these tax credits.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay? Nay. Okay, let's go ahead and raise our hands for all in favor. Raise your hand. Okay, that's 5. All opposed? Let the record show 5-2. Item C. Third and final reading, ordinance number 796, an ordinance to appropriate funds received by Fairfield County from the second tranche of funding received pursuant to the Americans Rescue Plan Act of 2021, and to appropriate unused funds received from the last tranche of funding pursuant to the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I think these funds does address some of the needs we have, but our biggest need is increase in salaries for our employees. We need first responders, and we are losing them daily, along with other county employees. So I think we need to seriously take a look at what we are going to do for the employees and for the first responders.
Thank you. Anybody else? Let me make sure I read for the public. I'll go ahead and read it. We're replacing 2 sheriff department vehicles and equipment for the 2 sheriff department vehicles. We're purchasing a deputy coroner car. Ms. Whedon, you want to go ahead and read those items? Just read the list of items that we're doing.
Yes, sir. So as you stated, there's the replacement of 2 sheriff deputy vehicles at a cost of $71,700. The equipment for those 2 vehicles at a cost of $28,447. A new pre-owned vehicle for the deputy coroner at an estimated $16,000. Replacing a vehicle in the animal control department at $36,000. Replacing a vehicle for the airport department at $30,000. That is using the current tranche of funding that we've received. And with the second funding that we expect to receive, we've already requested the second allocation. We should receive it at the end of this month or the start of September. We're looking at putting money towards upgrading the HVAC at the courthouse at a cost of $1,030,793, upgrading the electrical system at the courthouse as part of those renovations at $492,008, replacing a 35-year-old tanker truck and fire services at $340,000, and replacing 1 medic and EMS at $300,000.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Let the record show 7-0. Item 11, old business none, new business none. 13, the county administrator report. Mr. Whitaker.
Council, we want to ask Ms. Felicia Michael with the NAACP to come and talk about an NAACP grant, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Felicia Hall Michael, and I am the NAACP advocate for the South Carolina Stay Plus program in Fairfield County. What is the Stay Plus program? It is a rental and utility assistance program funded by the Department of Treasury to assist those who are experiencing financial hardships and housing challenges as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Stay Plus is administered by the South Carolina Department of Housing, and I will be working with this program through the end of the year, actually December 23rd. The program can help impacted households get back on track by providing up to 12 months of rental and utility assistance dating back to March 13th, 2020, up to 3 months of future rent to stabilize those with housing insecurity and cover other housing costs, including moving expenses, motel and hotel stays, storage costs, and security deposits for those who have been displaced because of the pandemic. One thing that I'd like to continue to urge is that this is a program that is available or currently available to renters. Homeowners are not eligible through this program. So who is eligible? Residents who qualify for unemployment or has experienced a reduction in household income, incurred significant cost, or experienced a financial hardship due to COVID-19, or demonstrates a risk of experiencing homelessness or housing instability, and has an income of less than $36,518, and that is adjusted by family size. How does one apply? You can apply online. So my role as the advocate is to work with those or assist those who need my assistance through submitting their applications online at the Department of Housing's platform, and also to assist them in uploading the required documentation. Currently, I am located at the Fairfield County Library. I'm there about 3 days a week, and I am flexible enough to locate to other sites within the county. However, I do need access to a scanner and a computer to assist the residents. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Again, I want to, I'm glad you decided to do this and come present tonight. This is really needed for our communities. And again, thank you, and thank you for the work, and thank the NAACP for requesting the grant and for really for hiring you to be able to do this work for our county. So again, thank you. And one of the things we need to know, please pass on to Dr. Roberts here, because once you leave and once people begin to see the video, the YouTube, we begin to have a lot of questions. And so she takes that information and be able to pass it to those who are requesting it. So please leave your information with her so we can get this information out to the public.
Will do so. I have my email and phone number, a local phone number on my flyer. I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Next, we'll have an update on the Recreation Economy for Rural Communities Grant.
All right, some of you may have seen the press release that went out last week. It was the same day that EPA announced that Fairfield County is one of 25 small and rural communities that were chosen to receive a Recreation Economy for Rural Communities Planning Grant. This is a joint effort between the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, U.S. Department of Agriculture, Forest Service, the Appalachian Regional Commission, and the Northern Border Regional Commission. The RERC program is a planning assistance program that helps rural communities leverage outdoor recreation to revitalize their main streets. So what will happen is a federal planning team will come and work with the Fairfield County Steering Committee along with other community stakeholders over the course of about 4 to 6 months with a 2-day facilitated workshop as the focal point. That's to kind of gather all the information, learn about the recreational opportunities we have in the county, identify ways that we can kind of promote and connect those recreational opportunities. So that we're working with the current steering committee, which are a lot of our recreational partners, and then also getting that community input as well. So they'll work together to develop that action plan that'll help us as Fairfield County grow our local outdoor recreation economy. We were chosen following a comprehensive review process from a pool of more than 100 applicants. And so through this RERC grant, we're hoping that we can connect the community to our existing state parks, the lakes that we have, the Palmetto Trail that goes through Fairfield County. We want residents to know about and have access to these outdoor amenities, draw other visitors to the county, and use this to support tourism efforts to also revitalize the various downtowns in Fairfield County. So we were very excited to learn that we were one of the 25 communities that were chosen to receive this nationwide planning grant.
Any questions? Let me tell all of us something. This is a big deal. This is a big deal for this county and for this grant. You know, this is the kind of deal we need to celebrate for this county. You know, you hear about stuff, and oftentimes this all this good news don't get to the public. But let me tell you something. This is a big deal. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a couple of comments. I think that Fairfield County is a beautiful county that we all don't always have a chance to appreciate. In the last 2 months, a partner and I have gone through the entire county, taken pictures, and really tried to document the beauty that we have here in this county. When we take a look at recreation and our opportunities, there are many. From lakes bordering the east and lake bordering the west. It's quite unique to take a look at all of the opportunities that we have for people to visit to swim. Our state park is probably the 4th busiest state park in the state, and having all of the hunting and angling and other kinds of things that are available here. There are people who provide services for recreation. There are people who are here to basically promote themselves and their businesses, and we need to give them an opportunity to have the economic benefit of people coming in, spending money here in this county. Sure, we have a lot of issues here, and people will always decide where they want to place their value. But when we value our people and we value our opportunities, then we grow our community. When we talk about community, we're also talking about our towns. We want to make sure that they are thriving, and we want to make sure that there are restaurants and other places for our citizenry to go. So we're taking a broad brush here. We're taking an opportunity to plan and to grow. So for each of you who have questions, and certainly we ask that you continue to ask those questions and that you provide opportunities and suggestions as how we make our county better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Melissa Adams from the Fire Service to give us an update.
Good evening, Chairman Barrett, members of council. Just want to tell y'all thank you for giving us an opportunity to speak with you tonight. As most of you probably know, for the last 3 years, the Fairfield County Fire Service has been named Fire Safe South Carolina Community by the State Fire Marshal's Office. It's a collaborative effort among many partners. And tonight, I have with me Melissa Adams, as Mr. Whitaker said. Melissa's a captain. She's a volunteer firefighter with us and been a volunteer for many years. She's a leader in our service. She serves as a captain at the Ridgeway Fire Station 7. And she has spearheaded many of our efforts related to this program. And so I want to turn it over to her and let her give her presentation. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman and council members, thank you for having me. My name is Melissa Adams. I have been with Ridgeway Station 7 in Fairfield County for 11 years. I currently work in the curriculum department at Fairfield, South Carolina Fire Academy. I am in the 2022-2023 Leadership Institute. My project for this is to bring awareness to rural Fairfield County and fire safety that goes along with it. These are the outskirts that we have issues getting to. So what can we do with CRR? We go into the schools. I don't know if you know this, but every year our theme changes. It changes. So it's not just here's our gear, here's our truck. We have a theme and we go by this. The next thing is to get into these homes and work with families one-on-one. I love working with families, and especially the elderly. And my other goal is to get into the rural churches in these outskirts. And I have begun this program. Currently, we have a small community risk reduction team. We want it to grow. We want it to grow exceptionally. We do install smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms. We do events. This is back to school programs. This is church events. This is birthday get-togethers with communities. This is anything that goes on, we want to be a part of it. And if you want community risk there, please call the fire office and we will be there. In the fire academy that I work for, there are different areas within this fire academy. One is the fire marshal's office, one is the fire academy itself, and that is with teaching, and one is with USAR, that's Urban Search and Rescue. Additionally, we have the Fairfield, I don't know why I keep saying Fairfield, the Firefighters Association of South Carolina. Within the fire academy, we've got what's called Fire Safe. The chief, Josh Fulbright, is who heads this up. This is how we get and learn community risk reduction and prevention. This is such a big thing that South Carolina is leading the way in not only community risk reduction, but they have gone out of the country to teach this to Canada, and this is amazing. It is becoming such a big thing that it encompasses every branch of the fire service, and it is being written into curriculum. We just updated the Fire Officer 1 and 2 program. That was written into the curriculum. I did get to take Fire Officer 3. That was one of our chapters that we learned, was community risk reduction. This is becoming a big thing. So here's how we get our alarms. The state receives the alarms from Red Cross, and they get them from grants. We rely on Fire Safe at the Fire Academy to give Fairfield our alarms. Without these grants, it's not going to be able to happen. So our goal is to become self-sufficient in the alarms. So we don't have to rely on the state, and we don't have to rely, because if those grants don't happen, we don't have them to put in. The best thing for rural Fairfield is going to be prevention, and prevention is key. When I meet with a family 101, I bring escape plans. That is the one thing that I forgot to bring y'all and put in that bag, and I'm so mad at myself. But these escape plans, it's a grid, and it shows that you can draw your house out and talk about 2 meeting places and 2 ways out of each room. We do suggest that the brothers and sisters and grandparents and grandchildren draw these things together. We also, you will see in your bags, there are pamphlets. We have modular home safety, simple first aid. We have carbon monoxide safety, fire safety checklist. So when I go into a home, I want to get and explain to them exactly what, I don't want to talk over their head, but I want to get down simply, and I want to talk with them. So when we in fire have the fire triangle, I know y'all know about this, which is fuel, oxygen, and heat. Our goal is to get rid of one of those to stop a fire. So fire extinguishers, we do not offer that as a service, but I do encourage them to go out and get these for their homes. I tell them about Ace Hardware, Roof Hardware, anything like that. They typically run between $25. And we talk about placement, and it's about chest high that we place it. And when I talk about when to use it, the firefighters have 4 growth stages. You're cooking in your house, pan all of a sudden catches fire. We call that the incipient stage. That is the time to use that fire extinguisher. Then that fire starts to grow and it gets up into the cabinetry. That is the time to use the fire extinguisher. Once it gets to a point and it's got so much heat that fire extinguisher is going to run out and it's not going to do you any good, then you realize you have a problem and you've got to call fire. And by that time, that's where that prevention is happening. Fire safe is happening. There are 3 types of fires that we talk about with them. An A fire is anything that turns to ash. In the movies, when a car catches fire, it goes boom. So we say a class B fire, which is flammable liquids and gases, is going to be a B fire, and C is anything with a current. That'd be your TV right here. Knowing this, we go over the extinguisher with them and show them that it's an ABC extinguisher, and that's what that means. I do love working with elderly. I do love working with kids, and those are the ones that we've got to target the most. How do we get them out for emergencies? How many elderly cannot get out of a window? So we talk about 2 ways out in a meeting place. What if your modular home is not on level ground and it's on uneven ground and you got to go out a window and go far down? We do talk about where to get a ladder that you can hook on your window and throw it down and get out that way. I tell people, especially the elderly, I would rather you get out and sprain your wrist than to be in a fire. I want you out. I don't care what it takes to get you out of that window, and especially the kids. We talk with parents about this. And with the cooking safety, we, Ridgeway Fire Department, we do Meals on Wheels in the Ridgeway area through the fire department, and we do that. We've been doing it for years, and I love my people. And smoke alarms save lives. We've got 2 known saves in the Ridgeway area itself with these. It was a dryer fire, and it was a cooking fire that this saved. And what I tell the kids at schools when I go is, you know those glasses where they've got the fake nose and the glasses and you put them on? I will put those glasses on the fire smoke alarm, and I will say, it's seeing for smoke, it's looking for smoke, and it is smelling for smoke. And that's the job of that smoke alarm. Now, how are they installed? Smoke alarms with 1 beep means your battery is going low. That doesn't mean it's working. It means your battery's going low, it's time to change. With 3 beeps, that means fire and get out. We do install 1 in each sleeping room, not bedrooms, sleeping room. One of those, I went to a house, and one of those happens to be a dining room. We put 1 in the dining room. One of them is going to go in your hallway, and one of them is going to go in your sitting room. So we're going to cover your house. Carbon monoxide alarms. We were lucky to get a grant with that. We got 100 of them. We are running out now. Carbon monoxide is a byproduct of burning, and natural gas in the Winsboro area, propane, kerosene heaters, fireplaces that burn wood, all those are carbon monoxide sources. So to get Fairfield self-sufficient, we need donations. What we need donations from is the industry and the businesses in this area. Some residentials can donate. And if county government ever can do that, they are welcome to do it. What you need to purchase. We would love for you to go purchase in bulk. This can be done. It is a 10-year sealed lithium battery, and it's ionized. You can buy it at the hardware stores. You can buy it at Home Depot. Talk with the manager. See if you can get it in bulk at a cheaper price. Amazon, you can buy those in groups. We will accept monetary donations. All these donations of smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms, and monetary donations are to be brought to the Fairfield County Fire Office. That's at 880 West Moultrie Street. That is underneath Fairfield Medical Associates. You can call 803-712-1070, and we can always come pick up those donations as well. If anybody in this county would like to be a part of this and help install smoke alarms and work with children and elderly, you can become a volunteer. If you call 803-712-1070, come fill out the paperwork, and you can become a volunteer. We do need you to be a volunteer to get into people's homes and to do this. You will be trained thoroughly, and you will be able to do this, and you will not believe what you can get out of working with these people. CRR is a passion of mine. It's something that I love to do, and it's something that I've got to continue doing. Are there any questions?
Are there any questions of council? One of the things, Melissa is the trainer for Ridgeway and Southeastern Volunteer Fire Department. So we enjoy her all the time. But one of the things is, as y'all think about Melissa, one of the things I want, she is the one who set up the training with Mike Fanning and all the other people. Why I'm making a note of that is because during that training, Mike Fanning he got trained on breathing apparatus. So when we wrote the grant and that kind of stuff, he was able to know about that. But the reason he was able to get that training is because of Melissa Adams. Okay, so again, we want to thank you for all the work you do for
Thank
us,
you, sir.
for this county, for our community, and thank you very much. We appreciate it, and you know how much we care about you.
Well, thank y'all so much, and it's wonderful, and I thank you for everything that you've allowed me to come and say.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I tell you what, before y'all go, I see we got Southeastern Ridge. Well, y'all just come back up here and stand. Just and get Mr. Pope. I just want everyone just to see, people do a lot of work and they just volunteer, and they're doing this work free of charge, and the passion for this work is so overwhelming, and you need to see it in the local volunteer fire service. Again, and they don't get paid, all right? Yeah, but come up there anyway. Let me take give me an opportunity to take a picture.
Only if you send them.
All right. And y'all forgive me, I'm just, we've been doing it since 1977.
That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. We're down to clerk to council report, none. County council time. Mr. Gibbon.
Yes, sir. I'd like to ask Mr. Malik a couple questions. What is the status of our survey?
The survey closed last week. We extended another 2 weeks because at the time it was supposed to originally end, there was only about 42% participation. At the end of last week, we were closer to 50% participation. Have not followed up with HR today, but the goal is to go through the information. They'll deliver the results of the survey in a web portal, so it won't be like a print report that they'll give us. It'll just be the data in a web portal. We'll have to meet with talent keepers so they can go through what the data says, how we can pull the data out, and once we go through that process, we'll be able to come back to council with the results of that survey.
Okay, will council be able to get a copy of all of the comments and everything that's going to be done?
So one of the things, because it's coming to us in a web portal, once we meet with talent keepers, I know better how we can pull those comments out and can give it to you all. So like I said, it won't be a print copy or anything that they'll give us. It's all online, so we'll be able to download that information. So once I figure out how we can pull the information from that web portal, then we can make that available to council. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure that we get all of council, know what the comments are.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Any other comments? No other comments. We're now down to executive session. Can we get a motion to go into executive session?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we go into executive session. Item A, discussion of a proposed intergovernmental agreement. Item B, discussion of staffing needs assessment of the Fairfield County Detention Center. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor of going into executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. So let the record show 7-0. We're going into executive session at 6:48. Thank you.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we come out of executive session, no action taken while in executive session. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Let the record show 7-0 out of executive session at 7:59. Is there anything before council?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I move that the Fairfield County Council authorize the chair and the county administrator to negotiate with the town of Winsboro and, if necessary, with the town of Ridgeway to reach an understanding of the terms of a sewer agreement for the regional application and the supporting sewer lines. I further move that any agreement is subject to county council's approval and the county chair is authorized to call a special council meeting for such approval.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Let the record show 7-0. Anything else before council? Okay, can we get a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second that we adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. We now stand adjourned at 8 o'clock.